goldfish crackers.
See, I knew that was going to be an ingredient, but we were just snacking on them actually.
Goldfish.
What do you think?
Oh, you guys had goldfish this whole time? Damn it!
What the?
Yeah. We've been munching on them like ass.
Bitch, what the fuck? Thanks, the guy, Chris.
Catchphrase for the weekend.
That'll gonna have to be the
Okay.
I keep the snarky blondie every year. I'm glad I met you.
What's this?
It's
I
the
like to keep
best.
this a little healthy, but I don't want to sacrifice taste, so we're going to play off of the goldfish. We're going to add some Simple Truth organic cheese crunchies that are multi-grain.
I kind of want to try.
Can I
a
just
piece
have
of
one?
that. I want to try a piece of that. Actually.
Sure, go ahead.
Okay. It's just fucking Cheetos, but not as crunchy. That's not bad, actually.
They're just healthy Cheetos.
Okay.
Yeah, that's
Now I
not
want
those.
to give
Health tip. Cheetos.
now I want to give this
Healthy Cheetos.
a bit of class for the convention roll. So nothing says class quite like Girardelli dark chocolate sea salt caramel.
Oh, I love dark chocolate.
You're gonna waste it on that.
This
Not
one's
all of
actually turning out okay.
It has
so
the
far.
caramel, right?
But
yeah.
I feel like you're gonna ruin it here in a second.
I've had this stuff, and that's actually
If you have some of those left over, I may steal some.
same.
Yeah, the leftovers are free game.
All right, but we have to pass the test first. Unfortunately.
Pass
Now
the
we're gonna
fire.
melt some marshmallows on it like a sword.
Alright, and now the spice, the thing that is going to bring it all together.
Here we go. This is where it gets ruined.
Tony Satcheries.
What?
Don't you do this to my
What is
heritage!
this?
What are you doing?
What is it?
It's like a Creole spice mix.
What's crazy?
Oh, what?
As you can see, the page and the Lagaiacris are very upset. Bitch. Bitch, what the fuck?
Oh boy. Oh, dog. Oh, dog.
Oh, no, dog.
yeah.
Well, that
We're not
chocolate's
eating the
ruined.
wrapper, by the way. Get that out of there.
I'll eat the wrapper.
No, you're not. You lick the wrapper. This caramel. Oh my god. Oh my god.
Oh my god!
Is there a
If
water?
I choke
stand
fast
by?
enough, I will have to eat it.
actually, there's one.
There's one.
There is one.
Dibs.
Oh, no, there's another. But
Wait, is that it?
Here.
there's two on the
Never observed Burrito.
That's it.
Wait, that's it?
That's all the ingredients.
This one might not be bad, but that sauce, that powder.
Okay.
I didn't even get a whiff of it, so I have no idea what I'm in for.
Okay, I can smell it from here. Creole's It's easy to- relatively spicy.
Oh, spicy I can do.
Spicy chocolate. I should actually, yeah, I'm gonna get that water on stand.
Have you filled out your will?
Fuck are you?
What about Will?
Have you filled yours out?
I'll do it later.
Alright, emergency water.
I like the chocolate.
All right.
8 seconds later.
Who's next?
I'm gonna
I gotta get it.
Oh,
Oh,
go.
Scott's gonna go?
Oh, I gotta
Alright.
swallow first. Hold on.
Alright.
It's like watching National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation.
Well, we were on a vacation, so it's technically halfway there.
There.
Alright, just a sec.
I
Just a
think the
sec.
worst part, in terms of swallowing it, is the caramel, because of how thick it is.
Yeah, it could be. Alright, Scott, go for it. Oh, that was a crunch.
I also saw crunch. It's the emotion chart. Oh man. All right, next.
Who's going?
Why don't we go this way?
Yeah,
Oh
okay.
fuck. I'm always the last one. By the way, your camera quality is definitely way better than mine.
It's 4K, man.
Bitch. What the fuck?
Cleanse.
Well, the spice is coming out from the bottom, so
Oh.
so it's gonna have fun cleaning that up.
And hurry up and eat it.
Or just fold it.
Oh god, I can smell the Creole.
I still don't. What's going on here?
Oh lord. You definitely will if you hold up close enough.
I believe that, but no, I know.
Yeah, the spice is definitely a big
You're
factor.
right.
And the chocolate's good, but
Chocolate good. Spice bad.
you always do this cranberry where it's a weird mash of two really strong flavors, and
It's to just
it's
ruin
it's
everything.
It's just weird. That's all it is.
Alright, well, let me just get a good look at that. Yep, alright. You want to take that?
Wrong when I can spell it.
You want to take that?
Yeah.
Hey, look, we're dueling cameras. Of course we are.
Alright.
It looks like a fucking breakfast burrito just on this lighting. That's concerning.
Through the mouth and past the gums, watch out stomach, here it comes.
That's new. No. What the?
Oh, is it?
Scott, you've outdone yourself. This is your best one yet.
Oh.
It is. The
I
spice is a
don't
little
smell it, but I think it got
strong,
in my throat.
but this is actually edible.
I
So-
mean,
That doesn't sound
it's
encouraging.
edible,
That's not.
but it's not a good mix.
Well,
Well, before I go, now I gotta take a look. This literally looks like a stupid burrito you get from Taco Bell. Oh, is all the chocolate gone?
no, it's still chocolate.
Okay.
No, there's a
It's
second square
buried
down
in
there.
Do you want me to take your phone?
Yes, you do.
Buried.
Gotta dig for it.
All right. First of all,
Oh, buried.
okay, now I smell it. Okay, that's weird. Try to see if I can find so I can at least get it in my bite.
Oh, you definitely got it.
Oh, baby, he's got it. We have that water on standby. Ooh, yeah, I'm really feeling the spice now.
Water on standby.
Here, I'll get that ready for him. I'll take a swig first.
Yeah, that spice is on the tongue.
Do you need the water?
Hold on. I'm trying to process the other taste, which I can't taste because it's spicy.
Have you learned your lesson yet, Scott?
No?
What lesson?
What, to make it more
No
difficult
one will
every
ever
year?
marry you for the way you cook or sew.
Okay.
That is actually something that teacher said to my mom at one point.
Compared to last year, I didn't throw up.
Yeah.
Like
Surprisingly, none of us spit it out.
Yeah.
the spice, like the kind of spice. I feel like
The spice is a bit strong.
yeah. I'm trying to think. Like I had sushi like before I came on my trip, and I think it's roughly around the same spice. It's definitely not like Shack hot wings or anything. But no, the ingredients I agree with. Together, obviously not. It's tolerable.
Do you want the water? Well, Scott, I guess we can officially say this year you've got a mixed review.
A mixed review.
Well, it's
That's the
literally-
final bite. Look at that
it literally is
caramel.
mixed 'cause it's a combo.
You can have that back.
I mean,
Do whatever you please. Have a bite, Chris. Bitch, what the fuck?
Hey, here we are with what I got from this year's Anime North, and I'm just gonna start off by going through the games and stuff that my friends gave me in our little game exchanges and whatnot we usually do every year. Starting things off, I got a few games from Zero, starting with a few PC games that a friend of his basically gave his collection to, well, give away to us, and I ended up picking a few, even though I already have like a whole bunch of PC games I got a couple years ago. I still haven't really gotten through them, but here we are with with a few more that I got. Why not just add it to the pile, right? But some of these are actually pretty neat finds, and I saw through the list. I'm just like, hey, I'll take those at least. Starting off with this is actually a copy of Space Quest 6. These are just the CDs and jewel cases. Maybe some of them have the back art, but nothing else really that fancy. But hey, it's still neat to have at least a CD copy of some of these, including Space Quest 6. Then we have Medieval Total War. I found Rome Total War in that big haul a couple years ago, and hey, here's another Total War game. And speaking of which, even though some of the Mech Commander games were in there, this included Mech Commander, the first one. So hey, I figured why not? Because I have all the other Mech Commander games. What's the first one? Among that pile. Might as well get that. And then we have, let's see. Oh, here we go. This is actually neat. Roller Coaster Tycoon 3. I played the first two, and seeing the third one, I'm just like, yeah, I should just get that. And this is at least, it does have at least this manual and the CD, so at least this is a little bit more of a complete copy, even if it's just still basically the jewel case. But hey. And finally, we have just a CD of System Shock 2. Even though I do have it digitally on Google Games, it still need to at least get the CD physically, because, hey, why not? You know, collecting physical CDs is neat, even if you can't get into work on modern computers, but, you know, still cool. Rolly, seriously? I'm filming. God. Oh, why do you have to do this? We're in the middle of freaking filming, dude. Okay, if you're gonna be on here, just lie down quietly on my lap out of camera. That's all I'm gonna ask you to do, okay? Okay, there. Sheesh. Never film these with a cat. And those PC games were actually not the only thing I got from Zero. I also got a copy of Alien vs. Predator, the 2010 game for PlayStation 3. And I've actually already played this, at least on Steam. So, and it's funny because he actually thought he got me this as like a bad game to get, and I was like, no, I actually think the 2010 Aliens vs. Predator game is actually okay. I mean, it may not be as good as some of the older ones, as the fanbase would probably attest to saying, and not really favor this one all that much. But I thought it was okay, and hey, it's still better than Aliens: Marines, but that's not saying much. But hey, even though I did play through this on Steam and I thought it was an okay game, a physical PlayStation 3 version, sure, I don't mind that actually. And the only other thing I did get from my friends was actually from SCR, and he gave me this little Banjo-Kazooie figurine from Totaku. And this is actually pretty cool. I've actually seen these before because they sell them at GameStops or EB Games here in Canada. And I was like, oh, these are kind of neat for what they are. They're kind of amiibo-ish, or sort of like coming in during the amiibo craze to try and be like, hey, here's another little figurine, even if it's not even though it doesn't really have any like game functionality or whatever. It's just something just to have as a figurine. And you know what? I like Banjo-Kazooie, so I do thank SCR for just giving me this. And it's like, hey, okay, cool, thanks. Okay, now we're actually going to get into the stuff that I bought, and I'm actually going to start off with just the only two non-video game things I got, even though they are still video game related, but I'm just saying in terms of like merchandise, I guess you could say. There was actually a Tales of booth in the dealer's room, and I came across a whole bunch of Tales stuff. I was really tempted by some of the stuff that was there, but I ended up getting these. These are little like cardboard standy things that you sort of make, and they're based off of Tales of Destiny. We got Stan and Leon here, or Lion, as he's called in the original Japanese version, but that's just a funny thing to sort of point out. But yeah, even though I could have gotten other things related to Tales of, I decided to get these because it's like, well, I figured I might as well get more Tales of Destiny representation, because I can't stress how much of how underrated that one is, or at least overlooked compared to like the later Tales of games, especially since they're now like the PlayStation ones are now like $200 and they're hard to get and not many people play them. I know I keep stressing that, but that's just true. So here we go. We're here with more Destiny representation at least. Alright, now into the actual games that I got, and I did manage to get a few, including a few ones that I've been looking for, or at least thought of getting, and I'm just like, you know what, I'll get it now. I'll finally get it now type of thing. Starting off with Dragon Quest IX for the DS, and I've actually only played a few of the Dragon Quest games. I've only played through the first one, and only a little bit of 8, and gotten a bit into 11. Not super far, but enough to be like, hey, this is a pretty good game. And I'm thinking, you know what, if I'm starting to get more into the Dragon Quest games, I should at least get, some of the others, starting with 9 here on the DS. I do know this is more of a, kind of a co-op type of game, but I'm pretty sure I can still maybe just play through it myself. Maybe someday play with the others if they have this game too, but who knows, I would still at least be glad to at least have it and start getting the other Dragon Quest games, so here we are with this. I also got a couple more Master System games, even though they are just the cartridges, but still glad to at least find them. We have the very first Wonder Boy on the Master System, which I actually believe I think did get a remake recently, but still doesn't hurt to get the original on the Master System. And then we have its sequel, Monster Boy in or not Monster Boy, Wonder Boy in Monsterland. I'm getting Wonder and Monster mixed up apparently. This is the sequel, and because this is the actual direct sequel to the original Wonder Boy. Well, the Adventure Island games sort of spun off of this and became its own series because it was like a kind of a different adaptation of that game. It's kind of weird, but that's just how it kind of went. But yeah, and then so I got these two just to have for the Master System to sort of boost my collection and have those. And I've been slowly getting more into like the Monster, or not Monster. God, I keep saying Monster instead of Wonder. The Wonder Boy games, because I did like the Dragon's Trap remake on the Switch, and there's actually a new Wonder Boy game that came out last year that I still haven't got but would want to get to. And there's a whole bunch of other games too that I've gotten through digital stores and whatnot. So yeah, so I'm slowly becoming more and more of a fan of the Monster Boy games, and it doesn't hurt to get more Master System games too in the process. And sort of continuing the trend of slowly getting more games into a series that I've been getting into. This is actually an import game that I got from a vendor that was selling a whole bunch of import games of Famicom and Super Famicom games, things like that. And this is actually a boxed copy of Second Densetsu 3, which is actually part of like the Mana series. Like this is the game that was basically right after Secret of Mana in that series. And I'm actually really it's actually really cool to find a whole complete box copy for not too bad of a price, really. And I do actually plan on playing this at some point, even with like a fan translation patch through my Retron 5 back there, because you can do that. Actually, you can actually use the cartridge in there and install a fan-made patch through the SD card, and boom, you're playing it in English on a system with an actual cartridge. In a way, even if it is sort of just taking the ROM and adding a fan translation patch to it like you would normally if you emulated it. But hey, I kind of like doing this roundabout way to sort of be somewhat authentic in playing it, even if it's sort of like a weird no-ground thing. But that's not really something up for debate right now. I just wanted to show that, hey, I got this and I think it's cool. Next up is a couple Game Boy Advance games, one of which I've been actually looking for quite a while, and I'm glad to finally found a copy of. And the other is actually, well, kind of related to the Second Densetsu series, and that's Sword of Mana. This is actually a remake of the first Second Densetsu, or Final Fantasy Adventure as it was called over here on the Game Boy. So I think this is actually pretty neat to actually, finally decide, you know what, if I'm gonna get more into the series, like I was saying with this sort of trend, one of the trends anyway of this game collection, or this game collecting for this year, I figured I might as well get Sword of Mana. There's also a remake that you can get on mobile on the Vita. I think it's Adventure of Mana, something like that. That's more of a 3D remake. This is like just a Game Boy Advance remake. So it is a game that's been remade twice. But hey, why not just get the first remake at least in the meantime? Because it looks pretty cool. And as for the other Game Boy Advance game that I've been looking for a while, well, that's Banjo Pilot. So yes, I now have every Banjo-Kazooie game, even like the weird like racing spin-off that was actually originally like a Diddy Kong Racing, or a Diddy Kong like flying racing game at first. But then when Rare got bought out, they basically had to like take away the Diddy Kong aspects of Nintendo, and then basically replaced it with Banjo-Kazooie. So, now the main reason I was looking for this for a while is that I've actually been thinking about doing a Game Boy Advance Banjo-Kazooie video, like just doing the Game Boy Advance Banjo-Kazooie games, because there was also Grunty's Revenge, which is more of a full-fledged, well, as full-fledged as it can be on the Game Boy Advance adventure game of Banjo-Kazooie. So I figured I might as well. I wanted to get this and maybe do like a video showcasing both of those games, and maybe like a little Black Sheep interview or something. But hopefully I'll get that done sometime at least, and showcase that. But in the meantime, glad to have finally found this. This has been on kind of my watch list to look for out in the wild for a while now, and I'm glad to have finally found one. And in keeping on the train of games that I've been looking for to do a video on, well, here's Blinks 2 for the original Xbox. which is funny because I actually believe I picked up Blinks 1 at Anime North 1 or 2 years ago. I forget which year, but it was actually not that long ago I picked up the first Blinks, and here's the sequel, which I imagine not even that many people even knew about, you know, let alone Blinks in the first place, and then it's like, oh, what, they made a sequel? So, yeah, because of that, it's like I maybe do want to do a video on this too. And I can actually answer why people would probably not know about this game. This was released a week after Halo 2. So yeah, everyone is busy playing Halo 2 instead of, you know, getting this. Good job, Microsoft. but besides the point, I'm actually still glad to at least find this, because this is an Xbox game, but I figured, you know, I have the first Blinks, when I get the second one type of thing at least, and, you know, potentially do a video on this someday. I mean, I still maybe want to do Blinks 1 as just a standard Black Sheep interview, and then do Blinks 2 as a They Made sequel. That way I can cover both games within my review shows in that sense, so look forward to that. And the last game I got was a re-release of a game I already have on the Wii, but I figured I might as well get this because, hey, I haven't gotten a Vita game in a while because it's Vita. There's not a whole lot of games for it to begin with. So I got Muramasa Rebirth. This is actually a game that I've been kind of looking for a while, you know, in keeping with the different trends that I've been going on for this this sort of game hunting of this year. And I'm actually glad to finally get this because this, even though this is a re-release, it does have extra content, at least in the DLC. So there is DLC that is exclusive to this version. So I figured I might as well get this and at least play through that because I did really enjoy the Wii version of Muramasa, the Demon Blade. And I'm just like, you know what? If I'm gonna at least get some more stuff out of my Vita, I might as well get Rebirth as well because it seems like a good version of the game. And hey, the DLC is a good incentive too. Although I'm not sure if there's any other Vita games I would want to get at this point. You know, because I've only have like, this is like my 8th Vita game, at least physically. So yeah, but hey, at least it gives me an excuse to, you know, play my Vita, or even my Vita TV, because it is compatible with it. So yeah, and that about does it for this year's Anime North. You know, got some good games out of it and some other stuff, and hope to be there again next year. So that's about it, really. So pretty typical year, but hey, I still had fun and I got some good stuff out of it. So see you later.